There he goes. It's actually yesterday experiment with him. He said, you got to come today to hear it. And I can't wait. I was like, oh, man. You going to be there? But let me back up. First, I want to dedicate, I want to give on a moment of silence to God. And that's what I need to do. And for all the murder victims and the murder victims' family. If you know one, think of it. And just take a moment of silence. Praise the Lord. Well, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I gave you some. And the basically thing that I'm glad to be here today, you know, and I'm glad that I met the different people. I knew whoever be here was meant to be here, was ordained by God. And I know, for me, I don't know. See, I don't never rehearse what I'm going to say. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, God, well, he said dedicated to me first. So I'm here today to say, God is real. And I ain't here to preach. I'm just here to tell a little bit of my story. Because a lot of people, I done been a lot of places too. And bishops and this and Lamar Woolley, I was a gala, he was his VIP guest, all the different people, Las Vegas. I was on a TV show there. I wrote a book. I made a movie, the Black Film Festival. I was there. I mean, but everywhere I go, they say, "Oh, you strong. How you do it?" But I told God, I automatically go like this. I don't even say that. Oh, sis, that was so strong. Oh, you so good. I just point up. If you don't know what, point up. Because if it wasn't for God, I'd be down. A lot of people say, how did you make it? I can't imagine losing one son. How did you make it with 3? I said, because I ain't doing it. And it's a sad thing to lose your child. I'm going to just try to ruffle through. God, give me what. I'm going to say, I started writing a book. And it was a book because I had so much building. Writing is my gift. And writing is a therapy for everybody. And everybody got a gift. But for me, when these things happen to me, in 11 years' time, I lost all 3 of my sons, plus a nephew that was found hanging. They considered it a suicide where all the evidence and that everybody knew it was actually a homicide, staged to be a suicide. Not saying I'm ashamed of it, but if you read my book, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's just they said, how do you make it? How do you do it? But this is what I just asked God to show me. I didn't. Now, when Bob went in there on May 11th, 2001, the homicide let me go into that McKeesport Hospital trauma room. Now, a lot of times, everybody, I want to go in, but I grabbed my 2 brothers by the hands, and I went forth in there. A lot of people I done seen, and mothers, because I got a group also, Relief, Recognizing Every Lingering Inward Feeling, was started in 2009. But I done heard a lot of mothers and fathers, they cuss God out. And they do this. But I don't know, it was something, I must have had that grain, that little mustard seed of faith inside of me. Because when I looked down at my son's dead body, and he had Friday before Mother's Day, now don't forget that. And I looked down there, and he just left home not even an hour and a half ago, full of life. And I'm looking at it, his lifeless body. Like I said yesterday, I went in Twilight Zone. A lot of people, when I get press, they say, what's Twilight Zone? Well, God gave me a name for it, because here I was standing over his lifeless body, and I felt disbelief and reality at the same time. I was so frozen I couldn't cry. My son, and like I guess all of us, everybody is special. That's your loved one. I had people all over that hospital, just like Elvis Presley or something like that, falling over this, falling over that. But you know what? God help me. I couldn't even cry. Have you ever been so hurt you couldn't cry? I couldn't cry. That was God pouring in strength right there. Because I'm looking at everybody else. And then even at the funeral, and Valerie can tell you, I spoke at all of my son's funeral because God put my mind on above, not what was right. Here my son laying right there, all 3 of them, one by one. And God put my mind on above. I was here consolating and comforting people at my own funeral. And Valerie seen me that. She said, there ain't nothing to see a mother rolling down the aisle. And I come in there and you stand up at the podium talking. But that wasn't me. That was God. He put my, and I just want to say, if I want to put God in my story, which I was raised up believing in God. But see, I got to know God for myself when that happened. And I won't deny him because I know what, sometimes I get in my feelings and I say, that's some deep stuff. Because when people keep on asking you, how you do it? How you do it? I know I ain't doing nothing. I'm just standing. The record said just stand. And that's all I'm doing. And God just helping me to step by step and walk and walk. God helping me to come to these places and talk and talk. And I like what the brother said yesterday. Oh, he got a vision. 17 years ago ain't stopped nothing on his part. Look at Rick over there. He put all this together. Ain't nothing stopping. And when God got something for you, ain't nothing going to stop you. And I said, and I want to share this record. Look, today, the devil not giving him any praise. I do everything. I said, I got COPD. All out in here, I'm getting breathless. I said, I talked my friend to death till 2:30 in the morning. Talk about stuff. She on her machine. I know she wanted me to. I said, well, let me be quiet. I'm going to go to sleep. But bright and early, we woke up. That was all God. She had television, addicted to television. That television didn't even turn on nothing this morning. And the thing about it is, I started talking. And the thing about it, God was warming me up. And I think if it wasn't no more for that moment, like she said, we was in Las Vegas. It's spiritual things. And I believe a cleansing because when you get to yourself and God can work with you, that's when a miracle happened. See, God had to take away things from me. So, because I ain't stand up here like I'm no angel. It was a time in my life. I was disco queen. My brother was going to New York, disco and going. You know how it all happened with discos. So, but I thank God that he let me go through all of that. Because God already knew what was going to happen before it happened. But at the time when it happened, I was able to lift up my head and walk strong. And not only walk strong by the grace of God, but I told people, say, you know what? I didn't even know you, but I heard about you. And I'll be telling other mothers about you. I said, well, you got to tell them about God because I ain't doing it. I lost 3 sons. I said, but I ain't doing it. So I think if it ain't no more than when something happened in our life to bring us to God. That's how, sometimes God got to shake that tree. And he shook my tree. And I lost all 3 of my sons, teenage sons. Like I said yesterday, it's only 2 months out of the year that I don't have a deceased family member or a family member or their birthday or their death date. January, February, that's only 3 months. So, my mind is, God had put me on a mission that I don't know nothing about. I'm just stepping. He said if I take 1 step, he'd take 2. Because sometimes I got to stop. But see, I allowed myself to cry. A lot of people, when you lose someone, they say, I heard one mother told me, said she don't even know, she lost 2 sons. So she didn't even know what day they killed. And I thought, how dare you? But you know what? God put you in situations to let you see how far he brought you. Because I look at these different mothers, and they got every right. Ain't no certain way to grieve, but their grieving is, I hate God. Why he take my son? Why he do this? But I believe that ain't nothing too hard for God to do no matter what situation you go in. Because whenever God do it, don't get it wrong. I heard somebody yesterday say, he ain't giving me that walk through and hold my head up high when everybody think I should be down on the ground or in a crazy house. He ain't giving me that to save it. It's somebody coming right behind me that something I say, giving him all the prayer, is going to help them right where they are. I was talking to a friend of mine from here last night. You don't know, she poured into me. And I'm talking to her quite often. She been pouring into me. Rick called me, hey sis, I became a sis instantly. Because we all in God. And I just want to say, my first son was at a memorial party. He was there 20 minutes. And he was murdered. He was trying to leave. And he got shot 10 times from the back to the front. Because see, like I said, there's frenemies these days. The boy stayed with him all day long, and he was the first one to leave whenever my son was shot 10 times. He the first one to leave, and I said, if everybody in the world left, you should have stayed. He said, Miss Lou, I was dirty. I said, all them girls y'all know you couldn't give it to somebody up there, all them trees up there. But he walked my son to the darkest part of the yard, and he said, I got to go back and get a drink. He went back to get a drink. He came back. My son laying there gasping for air, dying, shot 10 times. So he says, "Oh, Miss Lou, I had to leave. I was dirty." The girl, and this is part of my strength today. A girl that my son was well known to. Like I said, he was on his way out. Juvenile, DMX, all them wanted them. And the thing about it, he opened up shows in Pittsburgh for him. But the thing about it, the girl said she jumped over the fence, and she said, "Is you gonna make it? You gonna make it?" Know what he struggled to say? He was trying to say something. He said, "Tell my mom I love her." Right there, people say, "Oh man," but you know what? God let me. He knew who shot him, but he gave me something that I can live with and stand before you here today. He gave me something that I can look at another mother and say, "You can make it, sis. You can make it." Because see, we gonna give out, but we can't give up. And so that's how my son left me with words to motivate me to do the things I do in my sad times, my happy times, my motivation, stand up before people talking. He did that. And see, this is my retaliation. I know y'all been talking about guns, but it ain't the guns. It's the people with the guns. That's our problem. See, because the gun don't jump out and say, "Hey, I'm going to kill you." No, it's the mentality of that person holding that gun. But then what they don't understand, like I said, when you shoot that person, it's from the grandma on down. It ain't just you shot him. You done shot your life out of it, get caught, but most of all, you done hurt that whole family for the rest of their life. But they can't get that child back. I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, my son incarcerated, my son crippled." You know what? If I was a millionaire, I'd give every penny I had to see my son come in the door crippled. I'd give every penny I had to go down and look at those little windows and see my son behind the bars. I would do that.
Yes, God.
But I don't got that chance. See, somebody had the audacity to take them away forever. And sometimes I think, "Well, if you would have shot him in the leg or the arm?" But no, you took him away for the wrong reason. I'll call all murders because you got the audacity to kill somebody. Right. You ain't God, but you know what? They're going to have to answer to God.
Yes, he is.
I've been waiting 22 years for my son, Harry Ellis, Ray, murder to be solved. You know? I've been waiting 11 years for my third son murder to be solved, who got killed on the same street, opposite corner, 11 years after the first one. I stood there and deja vu, boom. My second son murder was solved because his sister was with him. And I thank God. See, I'm the type of mother, I try to find something good in every bad situation, because that's God put that in me. My daughter was Jitney, and so if he was with another Jitney, that's no, they would have rolled my son off, they would have left my son, but see, it wasn't no problem getting his murder. They got 10 to 20, but that don't mean no difference. That don't solve my grief. My grief is forever. And only God can take me through it. And it just hurt because there's so many mothers I've met where they mad at God. And I ain't no judge. It ain't no certain way to grieve. It ain't no certain way to grieve. If anybody say, oh no, they just doing that. It ain't no certain way to grieve. You don't know who. A lot of relationships ain't tight with their kids. A counselor told me when the first time, I said, "Miss Howard, you're blessed." See, I got my son music. I got movies. I could go there any day and see that. Some mothers don't even got a picture. See, he living through me and seeing through me. That's how I do this, because I know my son always was proud when Mama do something. He wrote a thing. I'm trying to hurry. He wrote a thing in school, and I found it in his room one day when he was a teenager. They said, "Who is your idol?" He said, "My mom." They said, "What qualities do you have about your idol?" They said, "What qualities do you like?" He said, "Because when his mom starts something, she don't stop till it's finished." Thank you, Jesus. And so I can't stop this thing. I'm going to be honest with you. First, there was so much going on at home, I thought, I can't go to no Harrisburgh. I tried to find every reason of everything happening that I wasn't coming. That's how I felt, because there's too much stuff that happened on the home fort. But I had to go, because God, that's why I went through. That's why he brought me through. So I just wanted to say, my son Don got out there, and he tried, the third one, he tried to get a friend, good old cuz. He ain't have no brothers out there. It was predators out there. He got misled. He turned into one of the persons that you didn't want to mess with. Because he said he was determined they wasn't going to do it to him. So I just want to say that if you lost somebody today, this man over here that's getting ready to come up, He told me something. Yes, I was sharing with him how my brother used to bring me to New York, and I touched some bases because he was from his hometown where he was from. And he says, I said, but my brother ain't, he dead now, he ain't go. He said, he with you right here. Right here in my heart. He will always be there. Right here in our heart, our kids, our mother, our father, whoever died, going to always be with you. So I think that's how God comforted me. I used to go to the graveyard, but like I said, I've been waiting 22 years, and I don't got no answer yet. I'm so thankful God gave me, out of grief becomes a creativity that you didn't even know you had. Because what happened to me, now I started a group, and now I do a TV show in Pittsburgh. I've been doing it ever since 2016. Myself and my sister Valerie Dixon, I call her my sister because I don't have a sister, she don't have a sister. We've been doing things together since 22 years. No, don't argue, no nothing. God has got us, we just side by side. Not she in front of me and I'm in back of her. Look, we side by side all the way through. We all side by side today. That's why we're here. So I just want to say that my sons didn't deserve to die. Or my sons, or anybody's sons or daughters, they didn't deserve to die. But they're going. And I believe that any way that I'm going to just say this. And, this is crazy, because I'm thinking I'm going to say, but God is telling me to clip right there, because I'm going to say, regardless of what you're going through, God can take you through. And if you trust in God, I don't care if you lose everything you got. He's going to supply your needs. And he's going to keep you strong. So y'all be good. I love y'all. Mr. Sam Cook going to come and hit that note for y'all. And I just thank God I met him, because he told me, and I want to share this, yesterday when I said December the 11th. He said, when you were say, I said, my kid, April, May, and what did I say, December. He said, when you said December, I knew you was going to say December 11th. Guess what? He lost his dad on December 11th. See, God is working. And then the other lady who's taping right now, 11 is that number. So I don't know, Valerie, maybe when we come up here to answer, we make our bet on 11. It's something in numbers, like my man told me. He said that's how he do. He do numbers and people. I mean, it's something about this event. I don't know what it is, but I'm always the type of person, when the Holy Spirit get up off of me, I stop right there. I don't know if you got something out of what I said, but I'm here today.
Definitely.
I'm in the flesh. I'm here. I'm not dead. I didn't jump a bridge. I'm not in Woodville. I'm trying to help somebody. What God did for me, if anything, I hope I can lead them to him by just an example. I don't have to explain myself, because everybody know my story, but everybody should be standing too. God bless y'all.
Praise God.
All right, let's give a round of applause. Make some noise for y'all. Can get louder than that. Y'all can get louder than that now. Let's give a round of applause. All praise.